Hello, everyone, and welcome to the board meeting for the month of May. I'm Clone, your host, Clone18, your host. Thank you all for being here. For anyone who's new, this is our public board meeting. Basically, what we do here is we talk about the last month. We kind of give an overall perspective of where we've been, where we're at. And then we dive into metrics about the company, about the users, about how we're doing, and then also the financials of the company. And then we kind of talk about some news that we have up and coming. Now, the board meeting is not all inclusive to all of that content. You still have to follow us on Twitter or join our Discord or follow us on Instagram. You still have these other places to learn everything about Glimesh. But this board meeting is kind of a way for us to recap and get information out there. We live stream the board meeting every Wednesday, not every Wednesday, the first Wednesday of every month. It used to be Tuesday, but now it's Wednesday. And we also publish a blog post after the fact with all of the text content. That way you can read it on your own time. And we publish the VOD onto YouTube. So if you are in chat or in voice chat here, just remember your audio, text, speech, whatever you have will be recorded and uploaded to YouTube, as well as streamed live on our site. If you don't consent to that, please don't speak. Thank you. All right, so without further ado, we'll go ahead and get rolling here. This is by no means a real board meeting. Everyone who's been here before knows that, but this is our public board meeting. It's something new that we do. Excuse me. And if anyone's unfamiliar, I generally drink a PBR while we're doing it, so I apologize if anything is inappropriate. It's finally May. I think springtime is actually here, at least for the upper side of the equator. I think that the bottom side of the equator, and actually it's actually flipped, but the southern side is now going into winter or something, which is crazy. To me, that's how that works. But anyways, so for most of us, it's going into spring. I'm in Pennsylvania right now, and we actually hibernate through the winter. So this is actually the time where we all wake up and start to come outside again. It's been relatively quiet from a development side for the last month. I know personally, a lot of my time has been spent kind of working on the giant wheel that is marketing, trying to actually get it pushed and started down the road. It's a huge behemoth overall. It's hard to get started, but marketing has kind of been the primary focus. April has also really been a month of reflection, trying to look at where we started from and kind of where our eyes are, where the future heads for us. It's been a really interesting time to kind of talk about and think about what the future of Glimesh looks like. Since the very beginning, we haven't been focused only on live streaming. Now, it's been a huge component. I believe, I think I love live streams. I love watching them. I love interacting with them. I think we've already progressed so far with live streams, and I think that there's only so many more places we could go with live content. We're seeing it now where TV is slowly starting to dwindle out, and live internet content is starting to take over. And I think it's interesting to me that we're still far away from what live video can actually be. But we are not just focused on live content. I think for us, we are really a true hub, a true home for content creation, or at least we want to be. One of the things that we're going to start working on here soon is thinking more general. Instead of just focusing on live streaming, we want to start focusing on content creation as a whole. I think one of the really great first steps we're going to make is whenever we introduce clips or VODs or whatever happens to come first, actually starting to have video players on the website where you can watch a video on Glimesh. A video that's not live is going to kind of be the next iteration. And so then if you're able to have clips and VODs or clips or VODs on Glimesh, then maybe the next step is allowing you to upload your own custom videos And then, maybe you can, charge money for those videos or only make them available to subscribers, or who knows, there's so many different potentials for things we could do. And we don't want to get too distracted from live streaming, but at the end of the day, our goal is to help enable content creation. We need to continue to evolve our content strategy just to have more types of content available, which will help make it even easier for new people to find out about Glimesh. Being able to have videos hosted on our site, for example, means that you can then link out to those videos and people can click them, and then all of a sudden they're seeing Glimesh on videos and live streams, and then they register an account. It becomes so much easier to make that conversation. So be on the lookout for that. We're gonna start slow. We're gonna communicate with everyone along the way. It's still very early as an idea, but we'd love to continue to expand what content is on Glimesh. So as far as marketing goes, we're currently approaching it from several angles, and I'm going to spend the next little bit talking about marketing, as well as many call to actions as available. So the areas we're focused on right now is really, and this is in no particular order, it's local events, which we'll dive into, content marketing, advertising on non-live content, and community engagement. These four focus areas, if you will, are ways that are means that we believe can help grow Glimesh with the most impact. So just to dive into them, just to give you some quick a quick update on them and a quick backstory. Local events is actually a new concept. I was actually talking with a guy who is also in Pennsylvania, actually very close to me, and we were talking about marketing and getting Glimesh out there and getting more people involved. And he mentioned that he really thought a great way to kind of kickstart at least certain categories of the website would be to actually talk to real humans, to talk to local bands and venues about their live content, especially during this COVID age. Everyone thinks we're out of it now, but COVID happened, and all of a sudden we went from live events to online events. And we may have missed that initial train there, but as more and more live venues and bands are getting set up on the internet and getting set up with their live streams, we want to really help them, and if we can, we want to talk to them about getting their content set up or even monetizing their content. Right now we don't have any way of doing like pay-per-view content. But in the future, we might actually have concert venues offering ways to pay to watch your band live. And with the power of FTL, you'll get the quality of being able to see it in HD, but you also get like the real time of experiencing with the whole crowd who's there, in the safety of your own home. So that's something we're looking at. Right now, the person I mentioned is working on that, and we're starting local to Pittsburgh, which is kind of where I live. We're going to kind of do a test market there to see if the message resonates, if this is something that people find valuable, and then once we've got a couple of those figured out, we'll be able to expand this to other areas. And this is when they talk about startups doing things that don't scale, this is certainly one of those. Right now we're trying to start small just to get some traction, and then as we grow, it'll be harder and harder to kind of maintain that one-on-one level. But I think we can kind of figure out a way around that. Now, on the other side, the online side, content marketing is a really effective means of marketing, especially for generating recurring traffic from people who have never even heard of Glimesh before. Content marketing, for example, is Googling how do I live stream, and the first article you see is Glimesh. It's hey, here's how you stream. It's not necessarily about how you stream on Glimesh, although of course that will be the pitch. It's, hey, this is how you get OBS up and running. This is how you configure your stream and get your quality settings correct, and making tools and blog posts that help people figure out exactly how to stream. And so content marketing is all about building content that helps bring in SEO value, that helps people find Glimesh when they're searching for things that are not related to Glimesh. So we're kind of at the early stages of drafting some articles that we can potentially publish. There's a lot of ideas going out right now. It takes time to write articles, and we have to make sure we do it right. I also believe that the blog itself, the design is a little subpar. It's a little hard to read. And I'd like to improve that a little bit before diving too far into that. But here's a call to action. If anyone is interested in helping write informative articles that can be used to find new audiences, we'd love to work with you and potentially even pay you to write articles for us. So if that's something that's interesting to you, please reach out. Now, from the advertising perspective, these are all marketing, these are all advertising, but advertising in this context is really like ads, as you would traditionally think of them. Like ads on the web page, or ads that are spoken out loud, ads in general. So ads have actually ended up being one of our most challenging areas. I compiled a list along with the GCT who helped out of, I think it was like 50 different content creators, blogs, podcasts, media companies, influencers, 50 different people who were of a small to medium size, who produced content that could help advertise Glimesh. And specifically, that's like non-live content. We were talking about this the other day, and of course the problem with advertising on live content is they're probably streaming somewhere else. So, you're on Twitch watching a Twitch streamer stream on Twitch, and all of a sudden they have a quick like word vomit talking about Glimesh, but they don't actually stream on Glimesh. It's not very effective. It's not very impactful when they're not using the product they're talking about, or they're not trying out the product they're talking about. So we had that list of 50, and we've reached out. We've reached out to a good majority of them, specifically focused around podcasts and blogs and stuff like that. And you wouldn't believe it, but it is incredibly difficult to give people money to do what they love doing. I thought personally, and this is I guess my own fallacy, but I thought that it would be easy to pay people money, tangible, physical money, to say, for 3.5 seconds on their YouTube video, hey, check out glimesh.tv. And in reality, it feels exactly like cold calling, which if you don't know what cold calling is, all those people who call you on your phone or email you trying to sell you something, and you hang up the phone and say, go fuck yourself, that's cold calling. So you can imagine, like, I thought the dynamic would be one way, but in reality, it's like we're actually fighting to get the attention of people who are making content, even very small content creators. We're fighting to get their attention and to get them talking about Glimesh. And yes, some of you have been bamboozled into advertising Glimesh for free all these years. But I think what we want to do now with ads is really figure out a way to resonate with these people. I do try when I send emails and DMs and all that kind of stuff to make it clear that, like, here are our company values. We're open, we're transparent, we're morally good. We're trying to make streaming a better place here. We don't want you to do anything you're uncomfortable with. If you want to just give an honest review of Glimesh, saying, hey, I used Glimesh, I really enjoyed the FTL, but some of the technology needs to advance more before I use it, that's great. Like, that, still talking about us is like a big advantage. And so we would even pay you to speak, truthfully and honestly about us. And of course, that's the only thing we'd pay to do. But I mean, even allow you to criticize the platform, which normally you wouldn't get with a sponsorship. If you ever watch YouTube videos, you'll see some creators sponsoring or being sponsored by companies that totally don't align with their like brand image. It's like you've got some like guerrilla car mechanic working on an engine, and then all of a sudden you get an ad for sparkling water when every time he's drinking a beer instead. And so it's like, hold on, I know this guy doesn't drink water. He only drinks beer, and yet he's advertising this product he clearly doesn't use. So anyways, I lost my train of thought there. But here's the call to action. If you know anyone who produces podcasts, blogs, YouTube videos, TikToks, or other non-live content and is looking for financial support for their videos in exchange for paid advertising, please let us know. We're not here to critique on size or anything. What we want to do is get the word out to Glimesh. We particularly prefer things that provide continual value, so things like YouTube videos, podcasts, stuff like that. But really, we're looking for people here who are not familiar with Glimesh, people who don't already do content on Glimesh, people who we can help spread the word to a brand new audience. So if you know anyone, hit us up, let us know. Again, you got to remember here, it's not. We're trying to expand the reach of Glimesh. We already do have all of our community already helps so much in promoting what we already have, and that's great, and that's. I'm so appreciative that continues, but we have to figure out how to escape that that bubble and get out of it and let more people know what we're doing here.
Clone, the people that they know that they want to direct to us, how should they get a hold of us? Should they contact us like DM on Twitter? They hit the business email?
Yeah,
What do
I
you want to do
mean,
there?
yeah, Twitter DMs. You can email business@glimesh.tv. You could also reach, if you know this person personally, you could reach out to them and see if they're interested, and then have them reach out to us, or vice versa. Really, this is just the start of a conversation. So, however it makes sense to you. We're not trying to funnel into a form or anything. Hopefully, we can actually drive some relationships out of it. All right, and then the last method right now that we're working on for marketing is really that in community engagement. And it sounds weird to label it like that, but recently our main focus as well has been, some of the Glimesh community events. We're not actually creating those, but we're helping to promote them and grow them and reminding people that we have them. And those community events can really help get people onto the platform, especially onto the platform at the same time. This event we're doing right now, and then the event that we're having in an hour and 30 minutes, they help bring people to the platform, which helps kind of bring people at the same time, to the platform so they can view other streams as well. And then also we're, diving into the nitty gritty when it comes to our Twitter. There's this concept of build in public, which I don't exactly subscribe to, but we're trying to use Twitter more and more to engage our community, engage people, and then also at the same time help spread out, things that we do that are potentially revolutionary. We had good success just the other day with it. We got, I think it was 30, 40 followers out of it. We want to keep continuing to do stuff like that, where we can and where it makes sense. So, in closing of the main, guts, our main goal continues to be marketing. Now, there are going to be some features sneaking their way out soon. One is actually going to be gift subs, which will be exciting. We'll talk about gift subs in a minute and how it may impact the platform. But yeah, if you want to help grow Glimesh in any way, or you want to help in other ways, or you have ideas, reach out. A good way to propose ideas is our building Glimesh form. That's a good way to kind of get them fleshed out. We do building Glimesh because it kind of lets us think a little bit longer form. But if you have an idea, you can always just tweet it to us or mention it in Discord, and we can help you kind of navigate that idea. If you're interested in doing work to help grow Glimesh, let us know. We'd love actual real help with marketing. It's difficult. It's especially difficult for someone who's a programmer who would like to do anything more than not to speak with humans. And cold calling sounds like the worst possible thing I'd ever want to do in my life. But there's some people out there who love it. So, yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and dive into metrics. All right. So, like I said last month, I still haven't gotten time to work on metrics. So we still have rather basic metrics. We really want to track, when we're doing marketing campaigns, we want to track marketing metrics, things to help us figure out how effective our marketing is doing. But for now, we've got these metrics, so, take it with what you will. I'm not going to, read them out to you. You can kind of peruse over this and form your own conclusion. This graph right here is week by week, the total number of unique streamers, which is the blue, and then the peak viewers, which is kind of like our viewer count for the platform overall. This is per stream, so it's a little like you're never going to see 1,500 viewers on the platform, but within that week, there were 1,500 viewers, which is the sum of all peak viewers and all the streams that existed. So that sounds super complicated, but basically use this number to compare week over week how our viewership was doing. Now, if the number of unique streamers goes up, hopefully the number of peak viewers goes up. That's kind of what you're looking for. So moving down a little bit, this is our website traffic for 3 months and then website traffic for last month. The website traffic has been pretty consistent again for the past 3 months. The traffic spike, right, that you see here was caused by a particular stream and should not be considered normal. That's not going to happen. That wasn't anyone like switching to use our platform and bring a large audience. That was just a one-off stream. And I want to clarify some of these metrics because there's been some confusion recently. So this is a product called Plausible, which is an analytics provider. And due to the way our web framework works, Plausible doesn't know the real bounce rate and real visit duration. Our web framework essentially translates you to pages without having to do full like browser loads, which makes Plausible not track those numbers successfully. So if, for example, if you're on the home page and you click on the cute chicks stealing your views, if you click on that stream, that will translate, that will move you over to that chicken stream without a click event being fired with Plausible, which means that the bounce rate is going to be higher. So, and the visit duration won't be tracking successfully. So these numbers we really shouldn't look at. Other than for like basic comparison week over week, these numbers are not legitimate. They're not real. Unfortunately, there's no easy way to get those numbers to be real. So really what we look at here is unique visitors and total page views. And again, we use these metrics for comparison against ourselves, not anything else. There's a tremendous number of users who use AdBlock or who use uBlock or who disable JavaScript, and so they're never going to be tracked by this particular service. So, this is not indicative of the entire platform, just of some users. All right, so this is the last 3 months, and then this is the last total month. So you can see a little bit less unique visitors and total page views overall. All right, now when we talk about the app is also something that is doing really well. We've been hitting pretty consistent downloads since launch, and there's really only a couple of bugs that are impacting the mobile app. Some of them are kind of annoying, but for the most part, there's nothing that's like crashing everyone. This is plausible as well. This tracks the app usage. I don't think this is tracking iOS very well right now because I looked at the numbers and it's something like Plausible is saying that 70% of our users are Android, which I don't think is accurate. But either way, use this as comparison. And then this is from the 2 app stores. This top one is the Apple App Store. And then this is the Android Play Store metrics. So you can see that here. On the App Store, the Play Store, we have actually passed 1,000 downloads, which is exciting. And unfortunately, we got a review today, which was not ideal. Um, someone reviewed us saying that we don't have any content. There's nothing to watch, which is true, is accurate. But that put us down on the reviews pretty harshly on iOS. So if you like the app, please give it a fair and honest review on either the App Store or the Play Store. All right, let's move on here. I wonder what this peak was. We had what? 100 new users at the end of the month. That's interesting. But a good number uninstalled it as well.
Did we tweet about it at that point or something?
I don't know. A good number
We'll have to
uninstalled.
cross-reference that and check.
Yeah. All right, moving on to finances. I'll just cover all the kicks in the gut. Gross subscriptions are down. I would compare it against February. March, remember, we had a lot of fraud. We had over $245 of fraud in March. So these were fraudulent subscriptions. So I'd compare this to this. We paid out $650. We had quite a bit of fees charged, but these are pretty normal. So you can see our total expenses for subscriptions was $1,042, and our total revenue is $576. Remember, we consider streamer payouts an expense. And then merch sales, we sold a t-shirt, but it cost us a lot to make, so fortunately didn't net out very well there. And then infrastructure, like we talked about last month, we are working to bring the infrastructure costs down. You can see here for the past 3 months, we've decreased it. So we're down almost $450 on infrastructure costs, which is a good thing. And then recurring services, we decreased the number of recurring services we had. We canceled a couple. However, this month our PO box did renew, and that's every 3 months. So the amount was slightly higher than normal. All right, so that brings our total income to $1,645. Our total expenses to $2,610, which means that our total profit was negative $965.48. In Stripe, we've got $2,000, and checking account, we've got $9,000. And I'll tell you why it changed from 14 to 9. It is tax time. For anyone not familiar, America has taxes in April/May. Now, as a corporation, we can file taxes every quarter, but we just didn't. So we filed it yearly, and we just finished filing the taxes for the 2021 year, and it packed quite a punch. Our tax burden, which is the amount of revenue, the amount of profit we made last year, was relatively small. I think it was only like $12,000, something like that, maybe 13. But combined with federal and state, which unfortunately I live in Pennsylvania and I'm the founder, which means that we pay state taxes. That means that we had about a 30% tax rate. So for federal taxes, that meant about $2,000. And for state taxes, that was about $1,000. You can see the exact amounts here. Additionally, we paid $700 in administrative fees to get the books in order, complete the tax filings, and get some of the other miscellaneous questions about accounting figured out. So definitely that $700 was well used, and I completely appreciated it. They helped answer questions around how we actually do our international taxes, how we need to do state taxes, and then helped figure out how to actually file taxes for our users as well, which thankfully we didn't have to do last year, but hopefully this year we do have to do that. So the bank balance dipped because I needed to pay those taxes. Realistically, for real finances, you would actually not depreciate. I don't remember the right word. Is it? I think it's a word that starts with an A. I don't know how to pronounce it though. Amortize, something like that. Amortize. You would basically split out your taxes that are due month over month. That way, you're not hitting your 1 month bank balance just like that. It'd kind of be easily over the span of the year. Just like your company, whoever you work for, they hold withholding on your paychecks. Kind of work in the same way, just from a budgetary perspective. But we paid those taxes. That's all now locked away. We also learned why most companies try to not report profit. It's because when you report profit, you get paid taxes. So if instead I would have made my salary $13,000 for last year, we would have paid no taxes. So,
I mean, you're welcome to pay me whenever you feel like it.
yeah,
Just saying.
exactly.
I'm trying
So
to help.
we're going to be speaking with our accountant a little bit more to figure out how to relieve some of that tax burden at a 30% tax bracket that effectively makes our split with subscriptions not attainable. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to get rid of it. It's not attainable at 50% if we pay 30% in taxes, because that means a huge chunk of our actual income's going away. So we're going to figure out how. Apparently, if we reclass into a different type of corporation, I'll be able to do it under my own taxes. We'll see exactly what that entails. This is an ongoing conversation. All right, and then the last little note here about gift subs. So we are going to launch gift subs in May, most likely, hopefully. This is the beginning of May, so hopefully there's time. And I expect that we'll see a slight bump in revenue for May. However, without additional growth, I don't think that we're going to see continued bumps in revenue due to gift subs. Now, I do think that it's going to bring in more revenue, which is nice, especially for us and the streamer. But like I said, we really need to grow the platform to grow the profit. We're not going to be able to milk, people for more than they have. It doesn't even make sense. And that's not why we're launching gift subs. We're launching gift subs because we want to be able to have that feature, and our users voted for it. So, all right. That's we breezed through all that. Does anyone have any questions before we go into news? There's only a couple of news items. Any questions about finances or metrics or anything like that? Alrighty. I'll give you time to type if you want. We'll come back. So the last thing here for news is don't forget, tomorrow we've got a very special announcement from the Glimesh Community Pride. This will be tomorrow, May 5th at 6 p.m. Eastern, which is exactly when this started. And also we have an event going on tonight, which I am going to pronounce right now.
Can't wait for this.
Kukan? Nope. Ooh. Hold on.
You got this.
Miroku-con.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Miroku-con. Don't forget, in 2 hours, actually 1 hour, we're going to have this is a community event, the Miroku-con world premiere. That will be live on glimesh.tv/Miroku-con. Fuck. I got it. You'll have to find out and see. Maybe Shin is here and wants to give a quick pitch. But either way, that's later tonight. The corporation is in Delaware. Unfortunately, I live in Pennsylvania. So Delaware has no taxes. Good. But I ended up paying taxes for me. Pennsylvania, the state requires it for me to file it. My dad. I'm not the expert here. I just work here. All right. Does anyone have any questions, either about what we've talked about tonight or just Glimesh in general? Anything that they want to ask?
Do you have any interesting ideas about how to do gift subs aside from the standard thing?
I don't know if we're going to have anything revolutionary first off. I think
Fair.
initial launch is going to be like a barbaric, like you click support, click gift a sub, and then you type in the person's name and it like tries to autocomplete it, and then you click, buy. But yeah, that's all I got for now. I think we'll let the community think of the ideas there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
if
think gifts
anybody
are.
has good ideas, go to Building Glimesh.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think gifts in chat would be very neat. We just have to figure out moderation. Um, like Giphy, for example, has built a business on providing gifts as a service, if you will. But I've still seen some Giphy gifts that are like way too fucking sexual, and I just gotta be. We gotta make sure people can't just embed dicks everywhere. Like that's what
Yeah.
main goal.
I assume whenever gifts in chat becomes an option, then it'll be something you can opt in. It's
Oh
not going to
yeah,
be something that's enabled by default. It'll be something that you can turn on and off at your discretion. Don't break terms of service, clone.
shit. Don't look. What's their pricing? Don't they? Are they a company? Don't they have to make money off of this? Developers. Here we go. Oh my god. React. I don't use React. Come on. Yeah, Botch. I'd like to do events, like real life events. I think we've been talking with Barry about potentially starting to do some kind of events or going to events, or at least having the Glimesh banner at events in the UK. I think we'll kind of figure out where that leads us and kind of go from there. But, um, maybe a cool way to do that would be to actually branch it out to the community. If you're going to an event, maybe we could figure out a way to like help rep Glimesh at that event. I don't think we can pay to go to the event yet. Renting booths is prohibitively expensive, um, especially when they're real booths in the real planet. But having ads or swag or whatever available, or joining with another table, like let's say a small indie developer wants to have a booth, but they can't afford it themselves. Maybe we could split seas with them, and they can stream their shit on Glimesh at the same time. We can all benefit from it. So we want to figure out ways of doing that. I think there's also that, Gore. We could just go to TwitchCon and set up GlimishCon right out front. Like. I always thought it'd be great to buy ads on Twitch. I don't know if they'd allow it, but Kaz, they may just approve us without even like looking, just because they're so large. Yeah, wild goat. I mean, that's definitely the dream, but that's also like I'd also like to dig up gold in my backyard. Like it's.
One day we're gonna get there.
Yeah, it's pretty far away goal.
Yeah.
Right
Give
now,
me
there's
some
clay
years.
in my backyard, so.
You and me both, dude.
And
Oh, hi,
coal. Yeah,
Christoph.
there's trash. I didn't know Christoph was here.
She's sneaky. Gotta watch her.
Google on gift blocking. Running straight down. It does really
Spoken
get.
like a true Minecrafter.
It gets progressively harder to dig as you go further down.
What kind of clay? Is it that red clay?
Yeah, I think so. Like orange red.
Yeah.
Yeah. Texas was like you dug anything more than like 10 feet, you got limestone, like
Jesus.
rock. Basements? Nah, they don't got that. Alrighty, any questions about Glimesh? Any questions about the slides here? My slides, I mean document. All right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and end the recording. And then we'll continue on the live stream just to continue shitting around, answer any kind of questions. But for everyone who watched on YouTube, thank you. You can see a copy of this at blog.glimesh.tv. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.